Hey everyone, welcome. So let's talk about something I think pretty much every English learner has felt at some point. That fear, that hesitation when it comes to actually speaking. I mean, you can know all the grammar rules, have a ton of vocabulary, but opening your mouth to say something, that can be, well, terrifying, right? So today we're going to break down how you can get past that fear and really start speaking. Let's get into it.
Let me just ask you this straight up. Does this question ring true for you? Because for so many people, listening, reading, even writing, they feel manageable. But speaking, that's a whole other ballgame. It's happening in real time, there's no backspace key, and it can feel super intimidating. If you've ever felt that way, I promise you, you are definitely not alone.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's tough, absolutely. But it's also the skill that unlocks everything else. Being able to actually communicate your ideas, to connect with other people, to get around in the world using English, it all comes down to speaking. So yeah, let's admit it's hard. That's step one. Step two is figuring out what we're going to do about it.
Okay, so let's dive into our first section here, the speaking challenge. And it's called that for a reason. Because honestly, the biggest hurdle isn't usually your vocabulary or your grammar, it's that mental block. It's getting over the fear itself.
Okay, this right here, this is probably the most important mindset shift you can possibly make. The goal is not to sound like a perfect, flawless native speaker. It's just to get your idea across. Seriously, even a short, simple conversation is a huge win. Just asking, "How are you?" or talking for 30 seconds about your day, that's amazing practice. That's how you build momentum and, most importantly, confidence.
All right, so if the goal is to talk, then the next logical question is, who do you talk to? This is where finding the right people is absolutely key. The great news is you don't have to do this alone, because the best way to practice speaking is, well, the most obvious one. You got to talk to actual people.
Have you ever heard of this concept before? A language partner is just a fantastic idea because all the pressure is off. It's a two-way street. Maybe one day you're practicing your English, and the next day you're helping them practice your native language. It just creates this really balanced, supportive space where you're both learning and helping each other get better.
Now, what's so cool about this is that it shows you have options. Practicing with a friend? That's awesome. It's casual, it's comfortable, and the focus is really just on having fun and connecting. On the other hand, a language partner brings a bit more structure to the table. The goal is super clear. We're here to practice and improve. Both are incredibly valuable, so just think about what you need right now. Maybe it's one, or maybe it's both.
So we figured out who to talk to. Now let's get into the how. This next part is all about your practical toolkit. Simple, actionable steps you can start using like today.
Let's just break this down. First, start small. And I mean it. You do not need to have a 1-hour philosophical debate. 5 minutes of small talk is a perfect start. Second, use the incredible technology we have. There are so many online groups, apps, video calls. You can connect with people all over the world and get real practice without ever leaving your house. And finally, always remember the goal. It's all about communication. Every single chat you have, no matter how short, makes you that much more confident for the next one.
And now let's tackle the big one, the final boss, if you will, the fear of messing up. We have to talk about mistakes because changing how you think about them is a total game changer for your learning journey.
I really want you to let that sink in for a second. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are trying. They're a sign you're pushing yourself and that you're actually learning. Every single person who has ever learned a new skill has made tons of mistakes. Even native English speakers make mistakes. So please, don't let the fear of making one stop you from even trying.
Here's another way to think about it. Every single time you open your mouth to speak, you're improving. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you or you correct yourself, the pathway for that word or grammar rule just gets stronger in your brain. So a mistake isn't a step backward at all. It's actually proof that you're moving forward.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final question. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Who are you going to practice speaking with? It could be a friend, a coworker, someone you find in an online group. A simple, "Hello, how are you?" is all it takes to get the ball rolling. So, who's it going to be?